What is one thing you will never get from a narcissist, other than sincerity, honesty, respect, dignity, truth, kindness, empathy? Other than those things, what's the one thing that you will never, ever get? An apology. At least a sincere apology. And if you do get an apology, guaranteed it will be a fake apology designed purely to manipulate you into submission. Here's what a good apology sounds like. And if these basic elements aren't there, you did not receive an apology. You were being manipulated. This is what an effective apology should sound like. It's based on a 5-step principle that I leverage during my online communication course called The Conscious Communicator. I deliver it to corporations in terms of customer service, in terms of conflict resolution, but it applies heavily to the personal world. And again, if you don't hear these basic 5 steps, maybe you didn't get an apology. And it's also something you can implement as an empath, because a lot of empaths, we want to be authentic, we want to be sincere, but we don't always know how to communicate our empathy. So this 5-step strategy will help you. It is an easy to remember acronym. The acronym is HEART, literally as in heart, your heart. The H stands for hear. An apology begins by taking the time to hear what the person is expressing, their pain point. Something that the narcissist is going to have real trouble doing because they're immediately going to get defensive. But you, if you want to effectively give an apology, take the time to hear what the other person has to say. Because if I don't hear what you have to say, how can I truly be sorry? How can I understand if I haven't taken the time to listen? So that's H, heart, H for hear. Now comes the E, which is empathize. For the empath, we feel the empathy, but we can't always communicate it. So what does that sound like? It sounds like this. If that happened to me, this is just purely an example. If that happened to me, I'd be upset, I'd be hurt, I'd be offended. I can totally relate to your pain. That makes total sense. You validate through your empathy, you validate their pain. Again, the narcissist will not validate your pain. They will divert, deflect. They will do anything and everything to not validate your pain, because that would admit guilt. And the narcissist is never guilty of any crime whatsoever. They're perfect. So we've got the H, we've got the E. That brings us to the A. Now that's when you apologize. Instinctually, we want to immediately apologize. As soon as we've done something wrong or it's been brought to our attention, we immediately want to apologize. But we have to wait. Again, we have to hear, we have to empathize to validate, then we say sorry. That's when we apologize. Another reason why we wait to apologize, we've got to give them the chance to get it off their chest. If you don't allow them to vent and express, while you are apologizing, they may be so caught up in their pain point, they don't register the apology. And what might happen is they will say, and can you believe it, they didn't even apologize. And you're like, but wait a minute, I apologized 50 times. Allow them to vent. Allow them to breathe the pain, to exhale the pain. And by the way, you should also expect this in return from others. Your pain point needs to be validated. Now, there's a qualifier. When the person says sorry, they have to clearly state what they're sorry for. What I said was wrong. I'm sorry that I said that. And here's the thing to really watch out for. It's a sneaky, slimy non-apology. I'm sure you've heard this. They'll say, I'm sorry you feel that way. And that is so wrong, because now it puts the accountability on you that your feelings are wrong. There must be accountability in the apology. So we've got the H, we've got the E, we've got the A. Now comes the R. The R is where you now will respond to that pain point. And that is the accountability part. I've apologized. I've taken accountability, and I'm going to respond by saying something like, I will make sure this never happens again, or please help me grow through this so that it never happens again. Help me learn, help me grow. I will do the best that I can. And then you've obviously got to follow through on that response, on that promise. Again, the narcissist, if they give you a fake apology, you know that the behavior is going to continue. It might be a week, it might be an hour, it might be a month, but you know they're going to come full circle and do it all over again. If you are sincere in your apology, in your response, in your intention to change the behavior, to never allow this to happen again, you've got to follow through. And then the last letter is the T for thank. Why are we thanking them? Here's why. This person, by bringing up the pain point through their open communication, hopefully it's open communication and it's kind communication, they've brought this to your attention. They've now given you the opportunity to make it right. And by making it right, it brings people together. And ultimately, an apology is to bring people back together where there's been a disconnect through some level of violation. So the intention of the apology is to make up for the error and bring you back closer. It's all about intimacy. It's all about connection. Heart. Hear, empathize, apologize, respond, and then thank. If you want to learn more about communication, take my online course called The Conscious Communicator. It talks about the 6 principles of communication, including the apology, conflict resolution. And again, just as a reminder, the narcissist will not provide you with this beautiful gift of a sincere apology. The apology doesn't have to be said verbatim, as was just shown. Take great care and consideration. Is this apology sincere? And if it feels sincere, it's also about the intention behind the apology, the intention and the energy. If it feels sincere, then you have a decision to make. Do you forgive and allow them back into your life? Do you forgive them and keep them at a distance? Or do you just simply walk away, or all of the above? Nonetheless, either way, as an empath, you have to be very careful and aware as to how people will sleight of hand you with fake apologies. And as an empath, part of you knows, but now that you have this basic structure, you've got a level of logic and reasoning to back up that gut feeling that this apology didn't feel sincere. Now you know. If you'd like to learn more about my platform and services, please check out the description below. It has all the links, or go to link in bio. Thank you for watching.